I'm so glad to be here today with all those brothers and sisters in Hong Kong. And it's my privilege to be able to come and share what God has done in my life. My name is Kenneth Bae. I was born in South Korea. But when I was 16, our family moved to the United States. And so I became a U.S. citizen, and I went to high school and college and seminary there. In 2005, I ended up in a place called Kona, Hawaii. There's a school called University of Nations, Youth Mission Universities. And I went there to take a school called Discipleship Training School. For 3 months, I was trained, and we were sent out to China to do outreach. For 2 months outreach, we visited a city called Dandong. It's in northeast corner of the China, next to North Korea border. When I got there, we met two North Korean brothers and sisters. And so one of them was about 30-some years old, and she came to Christ about 3 weeks ago. So I asked her, what can we pray for you? Please give us your prayer request because we want to pray for you. But this is what she said. No, don't pray for me. I got Jesus. Amen. So what else do I need? Please pray for the people in North Korea. They need to know Jesus is too. I was really shocked because she's been a Christian for only 3 weeks, and she said, I got Jesus. What else do I need? Amen. I love that sign, just Jesus. Amen. That's what she was talking about. Jesus is enough. Amen? Amen. And another man was about 50 years old. He came to Christ about a month ago. So I asked him, how do you feel now since you're a Christian? And he said, I did not have a hope to live my life, but now I found my hope. My hope is Jesus. You know, I grew up in church all my life, but never heard anybody saying, Jesus is my hope to live my life for. The next day, we went to the river next to North Korea. There are some creek. There are a very narrow river where we can get on the boat ride and next to North Korea. Usually tourists do that during the daytime. But we got there, it was really late in the afternoon. By the time we got on the boat, it was really dark. So we weren't sure whether we should get on the boat or not because we cannot see anything anyway. But the missionary who took us there, you guys can get on the boat. So we got on the boat after praying for a little bit and said, okay, we should get on. But missionary said, but I'm not going with you guys. I said, thank you for telling us that now. So in the middle of now, we got on the boat. It was very, very dark. We drove for about 15-20 minutes and boat landed in the North Korea shore. We didn't know whether it was okay or not. We have no idea what is happening. And out of pitch darkness, North Korea soldier come out with a gun. And then I was in the front of the boat standing, and I just say, 안녕하세요. I just say something like that, and then he said, and we chat a little bit, and he said, do you have some money to spare? If someone has gone and asked for money, you should get money. But I said, no, we didn't bring any money for you. But do you have cigarette to spare? I said, no, we didn't bring cigarette. But we brought you something. We have some cookies and fruit and, maybe some beef jerky from the United States or whatever we had, we gave to him. He said, thank you. We chatted a little bit. And he turned around, went back into darkness. This is when I felt the Lord spoke to me clearly and said, what he needs is not money. What he needs is not cigarette. He needs Jesus. Jesus is the only way and truth and life. No one comes to the Father except through Him. So here I am on the shore of North Korea, on the boat, and I say to Lord, use me to be the bridge between North Korea and the rest of the world. That was 2005 in November. And a year later, I went back to Kona, Hawaii to staff DTS, then brought a team to China to do outreach. After 2 months of outreach was done, I told my team that I'm called to stay here in China to be a missionary. So I'm going to stay here longer. Does anybody want to stay here longer with me to start a YM base in China? And then they said they would pray about it. And after that, 70% of my team members said, we will stay with you. But that means after short-term outreach, they didn't come home. We stayed together. Only thing we have a problem because there's nobody who was hosting us. We didn't know what to do. We didn't know the language. We didn't know that many people. We just stayed because God said to stay. And while we were staying, what we did was we just got together every day, pray and worship, asking God to show us what to do next. Because we have no idea how to go about it. After praying for 30 or 40 days, we finally felt like the Lord spoke to us and said, find a house where the people can stay. He said that people from around the world are coming to China, to this city called Dalian, and then you will prepare the house so that they can stay, and eat, and sleep, pray, worship, and train, and play some network. And then so we decided to call the house J House. J House stands for Jesus House. And just Jesus. So we got excited. Yes, now we got a new assignment. We need to find the house when Jesus said to find. So we looked at the apartment, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom. Still, it's too small just for us. But we're going to have people around the world that are coming to stay with us. So we look for the housings. And later on, I looked at about 36 homes. Finally, I asked the Lord, Lord, how big do you want? And then God just said, big. I said, okay. So I called the real estate agent and said, just show us the biggest house in the city. And we look at 8-bedroom, 4-bathroom, one big villa, and 4-story tall. We can 30 to 40 people can worship there. We can eat. We can stay there. They even have attic where we can have prayer gathering. It was just a perfect place to be. So I asked the owner, how much is the rent? In China, we have to pay rent yearly. That means in advance. And they said something like, at the time, 24,000 US dollars they had to pay. And I say, okay. And then I turn around and I ask the Lord, how much do you want to pay? Why did I do that? Who asked me to find the house? Jesus. Whose house is this? Jesus' house. Who paid? Jesus paid. So, Lord's will, Lord's bill. Amen? So, but you still have to give what you have in your pocket. So everything that I had was $300 at the time. But looking at the house cost $24,000 because God said to find this. So I had to ask the Lord, how much do you want to pay? And I felt like God said $18,000. And then I said to the owners, you should give us a discount. And there's a, in the Chinese there's a 便宜点吧. It's just lower the price a little bit. And then about 180,000 18,000 US dollars. And then they said no. Well, we don't have that kind of money, by the way, but we cannot pay you just 2 months rent to start, pay you every 3 months. And she said no. But if you do change your mind, please give us a call. So we got home, we got really excited. We found the house Jesus wanted. And then the next day we went back to the house. We circled around the house, started praying. Thank you for this house, Lord. Thank you, you were the wonderful thing from this house. So we went back 3rd day, 4th day, 5th day, 6th day. On the 7th day, we got a phone call from the real estate agent. Maybe the owner saw us walking around for the 7th day. I don't know. But, owners say, okay, just $18,000. Just give us 2 months rent, which was $3,000. But I only have $300 still then. But 20 minutes later, one of our staff called me and said, my parents in Canada are sending us $3,000.
Wow.
So we moved into the house, big giant mansion, with $300 we had. And then that became the first house called J House. That was 2006 in December. Our ministry began from January 2007, like 10 years ago. As the Lord promised, hundreds of people are coming to the house from the places I never thought that I don't know how they found out about us. They keep coming and coming, stay with us. So one first year we had about 300 people from many different nations came. Some stay for 2 weeks, some stay for 2 months. Some say, well, I should have stayed here longer. And they start joining us and they become a staff in our ministries. And then the year later, 2008, we started our first DTS, Discipleship Training School for Chinese students. But we have a problem. We didn't know where we gotta get the student from. Because this school, you got a quick job, you got a quick school, you gotta come and live with us for 3 months, travel for 2 months to the outreach. That means that people cannot work or school or be in school. But we didn't know anybody who can give up their job, give up their school to come. So we only had one student signed up. We have 3 weeks to go before the school starts. We have a problem now. We have speakers come from all over the world to speak for the school. I cannot tell them we only had one student. So I asked the Lord, is this the right time to start a school? If it's so, you need to bring a student to us. Would you bring a student to us? How many students are you sending to us? And I felt like God said 18. So I wrote down 18 on the whiteboard. And we start writing down every single people we knew in China, their name. And then we start praying for every single person. And we had a big question mark and thinking that maybe God will send us someone that we don't know. God will send us. So we prayed for the question mark as well for 3 weeks. So 3 weeks later, when we start the school, the day we start the school, 18 students showed up.
Wow.
13 were Chinese, and 4 were South Korean missionaries. 1 North Korean came to our school. Now we have a problem because this school was only for Chinese. We're only going to do it in Chinese and English, but now we have to do it Chinese, English, and Korean. Trilingual school. And also we don't know whether it's safe to have a North Korean person in our school. And it wasn't designed for that. But we had to accept her because she was part of 18 that God said He would bring to us. She was about 50 years old. She came to Christ about a month ago. She's never been to church, never read the Bible. But she's in our school from 8 o'clock in the morning until 10 o'clock at night, every day learning about God. It was so difficult for her, so difficult for us. We're talking about the North Korean ministry. Yes, if you try to live with one, you'll find out how difficult it is. But week by week, Lord's been doing a transformation in our life. And there are wonderful things that are happening. And after school was done, she decided to stay longer with us. But she studied mission school and Bible school. After living with us for 1 year, she said she's ready to go back home. And so I said, what do you want to do when you get back? He said, I want to start an orphanage in North Korea. Because there are so many street children dying, nobody's taking care of them. I want to bring them in, feed them and shelter them and then raise them up as godly as possible. She wants to start a Christian orphanage, private orphanage in her home. So we pray for her. We send her back into North Korea. That was 2009. 2010, our ministry grew. We ended up moving our ministry to Dandong, next to North Korea. Now we have a problem. We have many staff now, so we need a bigger place than just a couple of housings. So we pray for a larger space where we can get together and worship and use it as our base. But this time God showed us hotel big enough to have 200 people to live in it. Entire hotel. And it was kind of not being used for about a couple of years. And so we went to look at it, and then it was a great place. It has a conference room about this size, at least 2 of them, and then smaller rooms. And I mean, it's a wonderful place to be used as a training place. And we can put 200 people to live there. So, but before, I have to ask 2 questions to God. First, is this right place? If it's not the right place from the Lord, no matter how good it is, we shouldn't move in there. 2 is this right timing? I don't know, because there's a problem. What's the problem? I didn't have the money. I only had $100 with me at the time. But as I asked the owner, how much is the rent? And then they said 500,000 yuan per year, which was around at the time almost $80,000 I had to pay in advance in order to get into this place. How much money do I have? $100. So I asked God, is this the right place? God said, yes. Is this the right time? Yes. Okay, then how much do you want to pay? Because who said to find it? God. Yes. And I felt like God said 300,000, which is about $47,000 at the time. And of course, owner said, no. We don't give that kind of discount. I said, if you do change your mind, give us a call. So next day, there's about 40 of us went to the hotel. This time we had 7 taxis to go up there. We didn't have any car to go up there. And we walked around the hotel outside. Hotel's really big. It's next to the mountain, so we have to climb the mountain and get back. And it takes about 15 minutes to walk around one time. And we did that for 40 days. The money came down from 500,000 to 300,000. Money grew from $100 to 300,000 yuan. 40 days later, we moved into this hotel. So we named the hotel Back to Jerusalem Training Center. So from that location, every year we train more than 500 people from China and elsewhere. And then train many different courses there. Right next to North Korea, we did many prayer gatherings for praying for North Korea people. And then God opened the door for us, for me, to go visit North Korea for the first time in 2010 in September. When I got there, I found that it's possible to bring Westerner as a tourist into this particular town called Razin. It's next to Russia, China, North Korea border, and way on the top. And I said they just opened the door for Westerners to come in as tourists. So I say I can bring a lot of people to you as a tourist. Only thing is we want to do something different. Can we go visit the school and talk to the children in English, and then have a conversation classes? And they never done that before, but they say yes, we will allow you to do that. Can we go up to the mountain because we want to go up the top and pray for the cities? And they say yes. Can we go to the city market? City market is not permitted. The foreigners not permitted to go there. Only locals are able to go there. And they say yes, you can go there. So we can spend an hour or two buying things and talk to the people there. They say yes. We want to play soccer with the children, roller skate. Everything we ask for, they say yes. So I thought God is doing a clear opening at the time. The next day I got out of the hotel, walked around in the parking lot of the hotel, and this is when I felt the Lord spoke to me again. He said, my people's eyes are blind, they cannot see. They're deaf, they cannot hear. They're mute, they cannot speak. But I will open their eye, they will see my glory once again. I will open their ear, they'll hear my voice. I'll open their mouth, they'll praise my name once again. Therefore, I will restore my people. And here I am inside North Korea this time. I say, use me to be the bridge between North Korea and the rest of the world. Before 2005, I've said a prayer on the boat. 2010, I'm inside North Korea, pray this prayer. And then the Lord reminded me about War of Jericho. Like the Israelites entering the promised land, crossing Jordan River, first city they encountered was Jericho. But they followed God's instruction. What did they do? They walked around the cities once a day. Seventh day walked around 7 times, and then shouted all together, it came down. The Lord reminded me of War of Jericho and said, remember 2006 with J House? And I realized, wait a minute, we actually walked around 7 days too. And just a few months ago, we walked around for 40 days on this hotel. We were able to move into the hotel. So I was thinking that what if we bring Christian intercessor to North Korea, this town. We walked around for maybe a year. What will happen to the wall that is blocking people to know God? because this city was right next to the river next to North Korea, China. It's like a first city crossing the river open to the public and to the foreigners. So I got excited. So I came back and asked people to do four things. First thing is, let's go to North Korea together. And as long as you have the passport, as long as you're not South Korean passport holder, I can take you. Go and see and hear what God says about this land. See for yourself. Two is, not only go to North Korea, but let's go and pray. Yes, we can pray from outside too. But walking around, claiming the land, asking God to tear down the wall so that worship can be restored, people's life will be transformed. Let's do that from inside, claiming for Jesus. And then third thing I ask people to do is not only we pray, worship inside North Korea. God wants to receive worship inside North Korea. And the reason why we do mission is because worship does not exist in North Korea. So that's why we as worshipers go there and worship in behalf of North Korean people. God will be delighted. So as long as we worship among ourselves, as long as we pray among ourselves, it is okay. They know we are Christian. They know the Christians are supposed to worship and pray. So it is okay to do so. And I say, let's do that. And the fourth thing is, let's love them as Christ loved us. We cannot preach the gospel to them. We cannot give them a Bible. But we carry the light of Jesus. The light going to darkness, it will shine. They will know a glimpse of, they will see the glimpse of God Himself in us. We carry the light of Jesus. So let's do that. So I challenge 300 people to participate for 1 year, 2011 to 2012 tour season, to go into North Korea. So out of that, people from 17 different nations, from Africa, Asia, Europe, South and North and Central America, and Asia, China, even Hong Kong, people responded and they said, yes, we will go. So we, over 23 different trips, 300 people went into North Korea to see the land, pray, worship, and love the people. So 15, 20 people go and come back, another group go in, another group go in. We want to do it for the 1 year, to circle around the place and walk around and pray for people in North Korea. So that's what happened in 2011 to 2012. And we saw many walls coming down, many relationships being restored. People are like, we are getting to know a lot of people. We had an amazing time there. But at the same time, it was part of spiritual warfare, so that the people get sick and there's a problem, difficulty arise, and all those things happen. But every time was challenging, but we all came out okay. My last trip, completing 300 people. By then, not only I went to this town, I went to Pyongyang and other cities. I've been to everywhere in North Korea. My last trip, this was my 18th trip, I was detained in North Korea. I was detained in North Korea because I brought in a portable computer hard drive as mistakes. I bought a new computer, I wanted to transfer the file. So I brought a computer and hard drive on the trip from Dandong, where I was. It's a 21-hour train ride to Yenji, way in the top. So while I was going there, I wanted to work on it, but I forgot about taking my hard drive out of my briefcase when I crossed over to the North Korea side of the custom office. They discovered my hard drive. They was wondering, what is it? I said, it's a computer hard drive. I said, they said they need to check on the content, what you bring in. And then, without me realizing, they had a file by the Western media, like National Geographic and BBC, their documentary film about North Korea. It contains some kids that are like begging on the street, picking up the noodle from the ground. These kind of scenes came out. They were shocked. Why did you bring such a hostile material into our countries? Who is this for? Who do you want to give this to? I said, I didn't mean to. This was a mistake. I didn't even know I had this file in my hard drive. Somebody gave it to me a few years ago. I even forgot about that. So I explained everything, but they still say, No, you did this for a purpose. I was taken away a remote place in the remote hotel in the mountainside, and then I was questioned from 8 o'clock in the morning until midnight every day. I only slept 2 or 3 hours a day. They gave me very little bit of food. But I was concerned, not only we have this kind of thing on the hard drive, it also contained all my mission support letter, or the information about Korea, and people's information about North Korea and in China. All the stuff that was in my hard drive. So they asked me to fill out the paperwork and then write my confession. And then they read my confession and they don't like it. They say, go stand by the wall. So I had to face the wall, stand there. I felt like I had a timeout, like a test. Tell me when you're sorry, you know. So I had to do that for 3 or 4 hours and come back and write down some more. Go back to the the wall. I did that for a few days. On the third day, then they say, stand in the middle of the room and stand still, absolutely still. Do not move. If I'm standing in the middle of the room, and I have to move a little bit, I cannot really stand still. If I move a little bit, there's a camera there somewhere, and they're watching me, and somebody come in and say, do not move, and then they yell at me. But so I stood for about maybe 3, 4, 5 hours passing. But something amazing thing happened because I was standing for hours, but my back is not hurting, my legs not hurting, I'm not tired, I'm not sleepy, I'm not even hungry. So here I am thinking, I think I can do this for several weeks if I need to. Not too bad so far. But inside I was worried, panicking. I didn't know what's going to happen. I was so anxious because not only for my own sake, but the people I brought in, are they going to be okay? All the people came to pray with me. Are they going to be detained because of my mistakes? I was blaming myself. I was kicking myself in a way. It's like, why did I make that kind of mistakes? I brought 300 people here. No one got caught. Everything was okay. Why me now? And I'm asking God, where are you? You've been with me for the last 6 weeks. All those time. And then suddenly, I was standing for hours. And then my left hand was getting warm. So I kind of slowly opened my palm. I'm not supposed to do that. I saw something sparkling like a gold dust. And then the worms were spreading from my hand all the way to the arm, my left arm. I have no idea what was happening. And then suddenly, Lord spoke to me. Holy Spirit is holding your hand. He's standing next to you. Do not fear because I am with you. I will not going to leave you nor forsake you. And cast all your anxieties upon me because I care for you. And there's a reason why you're going through this. So do not worry because nobody will be harmed through this. I have something to accomplish. And in God's, and I was thinking, if God is with me, who can be against me? And here I am. I felt like the presence of God was so thick in the room, and the power of God was coming over. Peace of God was coming over. I was so in peace. I was so happy. The joy of the Lord was just filling the room at the time. All my anxiety was gone. All my worries are gone. I was so happy knowing that God never left me. He's here next to me. So I was so happy, so I must be smiling. And they saw me from the camera. I can hear them talking over there and say, wait a minute, it's not working. He's smiling. And then a few minutes later, one of them came in and said, just go to bed. You don't need to stand anymore. So I lay down on the bed. I was just tears coming out. And I say, wow, you are still here with me. And I want to hold on to your promise. Only thing I need to do from now on is stand at his feet. Because God is with me. Amen. Even time of suffering. Amen. He said he will be my rescuer. Next day, I found out the people I brought in were able to leave the country safely. And I said, now I can confess. So I said, okay, let me tell the truth. And I said, I'm a missionary. I'm a pastor. I brought people here to pray and worship. This is what I've done. By then, they knew who I was through my hard drive. And they say, you have done something terrible to us, so you better tell us who sent you. And I said, God. So who's above you? God. Beside God, there might be somebody else. I said, there's no one except God. And so we've been arguing like this back and forth for a few days. And finally he said, you tried to overthrow our governments. I say, how did I try to overthrow your governments? And then he said, through prayer and worship. I said, excuse me, you don't believe in God. Why do you believe in prayer? You have more faith than most of Christians do. Because we Christians say, what's going to happen even when we pray for North Korea? What's going to happen? But apparently they have more faith, believing that because we pray and worship, their government will fall and overthrow the governments. And by then, they figured out and found the person I sent back into Star Orphanage. I was really worried about her safeties. And then I realized that when she came back, she had to turn herself in. She was pardoned by the government. She was okay at the time. But because of me, she was with questions. Later on, she became witness against me in my trial. And then she was able to go home after that. That's what I was told. But at the time, I have no idea what's going to happen to her. So I argue with them. I say, she tried to start an orphanage. Why starting an orphanage is anything to do with overthrowing the governments? I don't understand this. And this is what they say. If one person become Christians, come back and start a Christian orphanage, 10 children will become Christians. And 10 will become 100. 100 will become 10,000 someday. When that happens, do you think they're going to be a threat to us or not? I say, maybe. See, what you did was you tried to inject us with Christian virus into our country. Virus will spread. People will lose faith in our leader, faith in our governments, and then this country will become a God's country. When he said that, I felt like it was God spoke to me. Yes, one person can change the nation. Yes, when we pray, prayer can transform the nation. And he said, you may be the most dangerous American criminal we ever apprehended since Korean War. Because now when you try to do mission work, you train, you motivate, you sending people to pray. You had a big center right next to Dandong, that's North Korea, training hundreds of people a year. Therefore, you may be the most dangerous criminal. And therefore, you must pay for your crime. Your penalty will be death penalty or life in prison. So you better tell us who's above you. So they figured out I work with the Youth of the Mission, YWAM. And then the founder of the Youth of the Mission, his name is Loren Cunningham. And actually he prayed for me right before I was sent out to China. So they figured out, okay, above you is Loren Cunningham. Above Loren Cunningham is Obama. So Obama told Loren to tell you to terrorize our countries. Therefore, you must be CIA agent. So I became CIA agent. And then you are a terrorist. So I'm a terrorist and a CIA agent. So they did a thorough investigation for 4 months. They sent people to China. Many people were on my case trying to figure out the whole plot behind this. After 4 month investigation, they finally told me, we know you are just missionaries. Not CIA. But missionary is also dangerous to us. We do not fear about nuclear weapon of North Americans, but we cannot allow someone like you spreading and injecting the virus into our nation. That allowed our country to fall. So we have to make example out of you. And they took me to Pyongyang, and then I was indicted, And they say, you are facing death penalty, you're going to have a trial coming up soon. So I spent about 4.5 months before they call it pre-trial process. The prosecutor come in and ask questions and leave, and then they're doing more investigations. But they made me sit in the chair all day long. I was sitting from 8 o'clock until 10 o'clock at night. So I asked them, when nobody's questioning me, I asked them, I have a lot of time, so can I get my Bible back? And they gave back my Bible. So I read Bible every day, a lot, many hours. Actually, I read more Bible in North Korea than any other time in my life. I pray more there than any other time in my life. I worship more there than any other time in my life. Every day, wouldn't you pray if you're me, if you're in that kind of situations? So there's praying and worshiping, and they realize that, that they actually charged. One of the charge was you tried to start a prayer center in North Korea. That was the charge against me. I realized that I'm already in North Korea. I'm in the house. I'm praying and worshiping and reading Bible. And I realized that, wow, this is a holy ground, Lord. This is a prayer house. And I will stand at this place, Lord. I will not retreat. I'll stand firm where you call me to be. When I was praying, the Lord showed me the visions. In the Kim Il-sung Square, the largest square in Pyongyang, I saw hundreds, thousands of people all over the world gathered with brothers and sisters in North Korea. We're worshiping and praising God together. And I was seeing that, I said, may Lord make the day come very, very soon. So, I was going through that kind of a time, but yet it was a difficult time to be in North Korea. They're on third nuclear testing at the time. They're launching a long-range missile, and then they said they're about to go to war with America. I was the only American in custody in North Korea, and they started looking at me as a different attitude. If you don't cooperate, we can treat you as a war criminal. That means we'll just take you out, shoot, right now. There was some threat was made. But God is continuing to say to me and say, but I'm still with you. Amen. It's through the Psalm and Isaiah and Jeremiah, many different scriptures God has given to me, that I'm your refuge. Wait for the Lord, because I am your rescuers. So there's many verses that came to me and ensuring me that He's still with me. One morning I'm sitting in the chair thinking about Pyongyang's very famous cold noodle soup. Like in Chinese we call it longmian, cold noodle soup. But they don't give to me though. So, but I cannot say, can I have some cold noodle soup, please? I'm supposed to be CIA, and, the worst criminal ever, so I cannot really ask for those things. But I didn't really pray or anything like that. I just thought about it, just smile. The next day, cold noodle soup was served for lunch. But they said they brought it from a very famous restaurant. It was very delicious. So I enjoyed it, and the next day I'm sitting in the chair. This time I was thinking about kimchi fried rice. Of course I didn't ask for it, I didn't pray. But that evening kimchi fried rice was served. But it happened once or twice, it can happen. But it happened more than 40 times in 4.5 months when I was there. When I think about it, God will provide it within a day or two. Isn't that amazing? Yes. So I feel like I had a room service. It's almost like God said, I created you, I made you. That's therefore I know the craving of your heart. I even know the craving of your stomach. See, I care for you. It's not the food that I was excited about. It's about the fact that He cares about me. And they were talking about shooting me here and there. But God is saying, no, I'm in control. I will be your rescuer. Hold on. Help is coming. I went to the trial, and I received 15 years of hard labor sentence. Prosecutor came to see me and said, "Congratulations, you didn't die." I said, "Thank you." "You got 15 years only." And I said, "That's a long time. If you stay 15 years in North Korea prison, you will die there." But I was the first American was sent to North Korea labor camp. Nobody ever been to the labor camp. When I got there, it was actually for foreigners only labor camp. There were 30 to 40 people working there, staff and guard. But I was the only prisoner at the whole time. So I was the first American who was sent there. And then I speak the language, I'm a pastor, a missionary, and so I received a lot of attention from them. So I had to work from 8 o'clock in the morning until 6 o'clock in the evening every day for 6 days a week. So I'll go out and work in the field, and first it was bean field, later on I did different farming. In the winter time, the coal ash come out with and then I need to crush it, make it a powder out of it, because they use it as a fertilizer. They don't have fertilizers. And then sometimes I have to dig a hole, carrying rock. And so it was a physical, manual, hard labor I have to endure every day. It was very, very difficult to do so. So every night I come back from work, I just couldn't hardly keep my eye open. I was so tired. My back was hurting, my leg was hurting. But at nighttime when I'm trying to go to sleep, they have a light on, so they were watching me through the camera. And so it's really hard to sleep with the light on. Not only so, my room in the whole camp, my room is the only room that had a light on. So imagine all these bugs would come in. There's no bug screen, by the way. In the summertime, so I had to kill about 200 bugs every night in order to sleep. But still, bugs comes in, and then I get bitten, and it's torture in a way for me. But at nighttime, when I was sleeping, my hand was getting numb and arthritis pains. I have to get up every hour, shook my hand like this for 10, 15 minutes, go back to sleep, get up every hour. So it wasn't miserable. Suffering was real. It wasn't pretending to be suffering. And so I asked the Lord, how long would the suffering last? And then the Lord spoke to me and said, even suffering is beneficial for you. I didn't like his answer. I want him to say, yes, today you go home. But he didn't say that. He said suffering is beneficial. But he not only said that, he said, but my grace is sufficient for you. He said, I'm still with you, Kenneth. He reminded me that when I'm weak, then he's strong. I think that's the promise that we can hold on to God. We go through different suffering in our life. You maybe you are not in North Korea prison like me before or now. But when you are going through difficulty in your life, you can always count on His grace. His grace is always sufficient for us.
Amen.
Let me share what God has done for me. One time I was working on the bean field. Never done farming before, so I didn't know. I didn't know how to farm. So I was working on the farm. This was just first few days when I was there. And then I saw a warden of the prison walking by. He saw me. Hey, and he saw me working and said, hey, have you not done farming before? I said, yes, I never done farm. Then how did you survive? I say, farmers do farming. And then fishermen catch fish. I just go to supermarket. And he said, then how did you survive? How do you survive then? And I say, well, I'm a pastor, so I just talk for the living. Oh, you mean you just talk and they give it? You just talk and they give you money, they give you the rice. Maybe to change the maybe batteries. You know. It's okay? Okay. Which one? Maybe. One, two. Yeah, that's better. So, and then he said, you know, look, and then he was look at your field, how terrible. You're not doing so well. And then he said, look at our field. And then over there, the guards are having their own field too, because government is not giving them anything to eat. They have to produce their own food there too. So in the morning, the guard will come out and watch me. And they have guns. I'm working here. One guard in about 3 meters away. One guard 3 minutes away. One guard 3 minutes away. This way, 3 guards with a gun and watching me. So I can't even I can't even do anything. So, but these 3 guards will go in the afternoon and work on the field. I said, well, they're doing the same thing that I'm doing. But their field is in the valley, so they were just like very beautiful. Look at how beautiful our field is. And look at your field, because my field was up in the hill, and there's many rocks. So this is what I said. Don't you, in order to have a great harvest, don't you need help from heaven? And he said, what do you mean by that? So maybe sunshine and a little bit of wind and maybe some rain. You need help. And then this is what he said. He said, no, we don't need help from heaven. We have a special methodology taught by Kim Il-sung himself. So as long as we follow his principle methodology, we are fine. We don't need help from God or from heaven. And he was really mad and he walked away. That night, heavy rain came down. A lot of commotion happened at the camp. I was so tired, I just slept through. Next day morning, I walked outside to work in the field. The warden was walking by, was very, very down. So I said, what happened last night? And then he said, rain came down, our bean field is underwater. I look at the bean field, it's all covered in water. I look at my bean field, it's fine. Because it's in the hill. So I look at my bean field, I look at their bean field, I look up to heaven and say, God, you're so funny. You make the right point right away. On Sunday, they make me sit in the chair all day long. They say, you don't have to work, but you have to watch TV. I have to watch TV from 9 o'clock until 10 o'clock at night, 13 hours a day. There's only one channel, by the way. It's all about Kim Il-sung, Kim Jong-il, Kim Jong-un. Nothing else. So it's easier to go out and work than watch TV. But if you watch TV for many, many days, you have special effect on you. Like, wow, they're really nice people, wonderful leaders. Those things can happen to you. In between the program, there's no commercial. They just have praise song, or praising the leader. It's like how we love you, our Marshal Kim Jong-un. Or they're singing songs like that. Day and night we will follow you. Wherever you go, we will go. It's kind of like scriptures, And they will sing those songs. So I used, and then I started to follow these songs. And then instead of using the word Kim Jong-un, I just changed to Jesus. And it became a praise song to the Lord. But on Sunday, I'm sitting down, because I'm thinking about food again. Because I'm always hungry. Because in North Korea prison, they don't give you a lot of food. You have to work a lot and you always get hungry. So I'm sitting down there, I'm thinking about, Hawaiian chocolate with the macadamia nut in it. I was craving that. And second thing was Kit Kat. Third thing was beef jerky. Fourth thing was protein bar, energy bar. It'd be nice to have that. And the fifth thing was mixed nut. But where can I get Hawaiian chocolate from North Korean prison? I just thought about it, just smiled. But 3 months later, I was taken to the hospital because I lost 27 kilos. Wow. And I was malnutrition. They put me in the hospital for a few months. I was in the hospital recovering, and then my mother came to visit me. It was a very emotional visit, as you can imagine. Imagine your son is in prison in North Korea. You're visiting him. And it was an emotional reunion. Following day, she came to see me again. And she said, I brought you something. She opened her bag. First thing she took out was Hawaiian chocolate. Second thing was Kit Kat. Third thing was beef jerky. Fourth thing was protein bar. Fifth thing was mixed nut. She didn't bring anything else for food. I didn't call her. I didn't write to her. I didn't ask anybody for this. I didn't even pray. I actually even forgot the fact that I thought about that one time. Apparently, God remembered. Our God is good. He's a good God. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. He is a mighty God who cares about His loved one. And I was thinking that if God cares about me this much, even in the prison, He's more than enough. And I was there for 1 year, still no sign of going home. So I was, I was really down. And then I realized that there was attempt by U.S. government to send envoy, but it was canceled at the last minute by North Korean government. And then a week later, President Obama sent special envoy from White House to come and see me. So I was able to see this person for 5 minutes. But he said, I'm sorry, I cannot take you home. So I was devastated because I've been praying every day. Send me home, bring me home, Lord. I knew God said, I'll be a rescuer. So I was waiting for the rescue. Someone came but could not take me home. And then a week later, I got a letter from my mom, and this is what she wrote. She said, you need a faith like Daniel's 3 friends now. Our God is able to save us, but even He does not, you need that kind of faith. So I realized I wasn't going home anytime soon. Actually, there was one question I wanted to ask the Lord for many, many months. That was, do you want me to stay here, Lord? Is this your will for me to stay in North Korea? But I could not ask the question because I did not want that answer. Because I want to go home. I cannot possibly ask that question. What if He said that? So I pondered for another 3 weeks. Finally, I knelt down on my hospital bed and I pray like this. Lord, you know my heart. I want to go home. Think about the family waiting. Think about all the people praying for me. I have to be home. But not my will, but your will be done. I give up my right to go home. Use me, Lord. 2005, on the boat, I said a prayer to use me. 2010, I was in North Korea for the first time, prayed a prayer. And in 2013, I was in the hospital in Pyongyang, in detention, prayed a prayer. And then God spoke to me. Kenneth, do you love me more than these? When He said that, I realized, do you love me more than your wife? Do you love me more than your children? Do you love me more than your ministries? Do you love me more than your life? I taught hundreds of people to becoming a disciple of Jesus through many different schools and programs. But this is when I realized becoming a disciple of Jesus is someone who loves Jesus more than anything else. Amen. So I whispered to the Lord, Lord, I love you. Then He said, feed my sheep, take care of my lamb. There are 30 to 40 people around me, their guard and staff and doctors and nurses and people from prosecutor office and all those people. And I thought they were there to oppress me. But after I prayed the prayer, use me, Lord said this, these are the lost sheep that I've sent you for. You are not here as a prisoner. You are here as my son representing my kingdom. You are here as my missionary. You are the light shining in the darkness. So I told the Lord, I don't know how, Lord. Help me, Lord, help me to do this. Before I was praying to Lord, save me. And then I didn't know what to do. But after pray the prayer, use me, God started opening the door. And so they usually call me prisoner 103. And that was my name at the time. 103. And I said, yes. That's it. 열린산, I guess in Chinese. 103번, that's in Korean. But here I am, but one by one, when nobody's around, they come to me and say, Pastor, can I talk to you? And they're talking about their family problems and marriage problems. I realize that even in North Korea, people have marriage problems. And their children's problems. I was doing a parenting, counseling, and marriage counseling, and then premarital counseling, all those things. I started to become their friends and shepherd. One man asked me, Pastor, if I believe in God like you, what do I get? Is there any benefit? And another man would ask me, Pastor, if I believe in God like you, what do I have to pay to your church? Is there a membership fee to your church? And I say, yes, there is an offering and so on, but you need to give your life to Jesus, to God. And then one man, after being there for 2 years now, one man said this. He was a young guard. He said, you say God is real. How come you are still here? You said when you pray, God listens to you. No one stayed this long before. No one went to hospital, come back 3 times just like you done before. So how do you explain that God is real? And I say, God may have different plan. That plan may include you. Because without me, how are you going to hear about God or anything from outside? And then he said, it's true. I never heard anything like this before in my life. When I was questioned in the first month, the cities, one investigator asked me, I heard about God before, never heard about Jesus before. So tell me, where does Jesus live? In China or North Korea? I thought he was kidding. He was born in Pyongyang, capital city. He went to college in Pyongyang. He's 30-some years old. He worked for National Security Bureau. He's an investigator. He said, I never heard the name Jesus before. It's a tragedy. 21st century prosperous East Asia. Only in North Korea, 24 million people live like that. No access to the name of Jesus. Pyongyang used to be known as the Jerusalem of the Far East. There are 100 years ago, more churches in Pyongyang than any other place in Asia. More Christians lived there before, but now the name of Jesus disappears from the people's life. I realize before me they never heard the name Jesus. If I go home, they have no access to gospel. How am I supposed to live my life to show that Jesus mattered, Jesus is hope to live their life for? And Lord reminded me illustrations about a missionary who went to India. This person was serving in the Indian minority tribe, and then the local dialect was very difficult language to learn. So he was there for 5-7 years, still not enough to pick up the language to preach the gospel. After being there for 10 years, the supporting church said, just come back. And then they sent another person in his place to do the mission work there. This young man was very gifted in the language. After being there for only 3 years, he was able to preach the gospel in the local dialect, and therefore he decided to get everybody together. So he got everybody in the village together. He preached gospel for the first time. And then he said, who want to accept Jesus into your life? Raise your hand. Then everybody raised their hand in the whole audience. So he thought that maybe I made a mistake here. They didn't understand what I was trying to say. So he preached gospel one more time. Okay, now you understand, right? Only people want to accept Jesus into your life, raise your hand. Everybody raised their hand again. So he got frustrated. He said, you know what? Do you really know who Jesus is? Chief of the village raised his hand. He said, he was with us for 10 years. Lord reminded me this illustration when I was in North Korea prison. They never heard the gospel before. They never, not going to have a chance to do that. But I cannot preach gospel to them. But if I preach gospel, they say, yes, I want to accept Jesus into my life. That they will take this person away, his children away, parents away. 3 generations will be wiped out. That's a penalty of becoming Christian in North Korea. So I cannot preach gospel to them, but Jesus saying that is, I may be the only Jesus they will ever get to see in their lifetime. I have to become a little Jesus to them. But this is a prison. How can I do that, Lord? And so every morning, I have to pray, Lord, help me to live like you today. Help me not to dishonor your name. Help me to live a life of a Jesus to the people in the prison. Not everybody's nice in the prison. People yell at you. They scream, and sometimes they give me punishments and these things. But what would Jesus do if he's here in my place? That was my task and assignments. And every morning I pray and worship, asking God help. Put on the full armor of God. Lord, help me, Lord, today. Reflect your glory today. I was working on the field. I was working on the, smashing the ash, And then I was told that in 2 days, U.S. envoy is coming to get me home. That I'm actually going home. I was so excited, and I was telling everybody, thank you very much. Goodbye. I'm leaving. And I even sang a song because I was so joyful. Sang a song called Farewell song in Korean, saying that farewell, I see you again next time. I was singing the song like that. In the middle of the song, and then they said, don't sing such a sad song. You're making us sad. You shouldn't leave so early. You should stay longer with us. We like having you here. You should talk to us some more. Why do you want to go so early? I said, sooner I go home, sooner I can come back. Of course, the next time, not as a prisoner next time. But in 2 days, the trip was canceled and the envoy never came. Can you imagine disappointments that I endured? And I realized that giving up right to go home is not something that I have to do it one time. I have to do it every day. Every day I have to go to the Lord. Use me, Lord. In the evenings, let me tell you this. When I actually went home, warden of the prison, remember the guy said, you don't need a God or heaven to help us? And then when I left, he shook my hand. And he just said one word to me. He said, see you again. He said, they see you again, and I saw tears in his eye. He didn't mean to see you again as my prisoner. See you again. And I felt God has done something in 2 years in captivity in North Korea. I was thankful. In the nighttime, I usually, after dinner, they said, you can watch TV. When I'm about to watch TV, the light goes out. No electricity. I said, thank you, Lord. But I have to sit in the chair. They don't let me go to sleep, even though it's dark. I have to sit there for 2 hours or 3 hours sometimes. I'm sitting. So the only thing I could do was singing to the Lord. I was singing the love song to God, and then there's none like you, Jesus. I love you, Lord. I sing a hymn song, old song. It contained the lyric like this. whether I live in shack or in the palace, if Jesus is with me, this is where heaven is. If He walk with me, then this is the heaven is. So I'm singing the song like this, very softly, but at night time, everybody in the whole camp can hear singing of American missionaries there. And then they are talking to themselves. And they come to me and say, you are very strange. We are the guard, you are the prisoner. How come you look happier than us? Where does your joy come from? Where does your hope come from? It doesn't make any sense to us. Nobody's coming. You have to be here 13 more years. How can you sing that where Jesus says this is where heaven is? But God was doing something midst of all that. And in 2014, November 3rd, was 2-year anniversary that I was there. But 2 days before, on November 1st, that was Saturday, prosecutor came to see me and say, hey, you just finished 2 years. There are 13 more years to go. 13 years later, you'll be 60. So we will celebrate together with noodle. Then we'll let you go. That was his way of mocking me. But he said, nobody's coming. You've been abandoned by your government. You've been forgotten by people. But he said this every Saturday for 1 year, 52 weeks. Every Saturday come, he say the same things. So I nicknamed him Mr. Disappointment. He come and give me disappointing news every single week. Doesn't matter, you put on the full armor of God and reading Bible every day. When you hear Mr. Disappointment speak disappointing news, you get disappointed. You lose hope. You start wondering, where are you, God, again? Because you're human beings. So do you have Mr. Disappointment in your life too, by the way? We're trying to live for God, but somebody's always saying, you don't need to do that. You don't know God's not gonna give you money if you do that. God's not gonna take care of you. There's always somebody in our life giving us disappointments. So I have to choose. Am I gonna listen to Mr. Disappointments? Am I gonna listen to God? There are 450 people who wrote a letter to me, total stranger all over the world, then saying, Kenneth, you're not forgotten. We are standing with you. We're praying for you. You will come home very soon. Hang in there. So I have to choose. Am I going to listen to him, listen to God's people, or the God's promise God has given me that He will be my rescuer? So on Sunday, November 2nd, I read all those letters. It took me about 5 hours to read all those letters. And then I go back to the bathroom, look at the mirror and say, remember your missionary. You are here for the reason. Do not forget. And I'm not going to listen to Mr. Disappointment anymore. November 3rd, the Monday morning, 2-year anniversary, I woke up and the Lord spoke to me very clearly and said, Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 20. I had no idea what that verse was. God never spoke to me like this in my whole life. It's the first time God just gave me the verse. I just opened it and realized in English translation, NIV, it said, I will bring you home. That was Monday, 2-year anniversary, 2014. And Friday, U.S. envoy came. Saturday, I came home. So on the way home on the airplane, I explained to them, God spoke to me on Monday, November 3rd, He will bring me home. And they said, they were so surprised. We left Washington, D.C. Monday, November 3rd. God spoke to me, sent U.S. government plane over. More than 20 people came to get me home. It wasn't small plane they were on. Big plane said United States of America. So I came back and I was telling everybody that even President Obama knows my name now. But more importantly, Heavenly Father knows my name. He is a wonderful God that we can depend upon. And if we say this, if He promised us, He always fulfills promise. And He's a faithful God that we can always run to time of difficulty and trouble. And same God knows your name. Know what you're going through, your difficulty you're enduring right now. So you can always count on Him and knowing that He's holding your hand. So He's standing next to you. Only thing we need to do is stand at His feet, His presence, even the time of difficulty.
Amen.
Through the suffering, I learned to fix my eye upon the Lord. Through the suffering, I learned to trust Him even in time of difficulties. Through the suffering, I learned to love God more than anything else. Through suffering, I learned to obey the Lord. Being where God wants me to be at, doing what God wants me to do, with the people God wants me to be with, is the best thing I can look forward to. Even it means could be prison, or could be in a hospital, whatever that may be, God brings. He knows better than me. He's bigger than me. I can always trust God, no matter what we are going through. I came home and He said, people around the world prayed for you. They remembered you. And realized that millions of people around the world prayed for me. And then 177,000 people they signed a petition for my release. People that didn't know me, they care for one missionary in North Korea to sign their name, pray for me while I was in North Korea. I felt the prayer inside the prison. I was never been afraid. I felt the presence of God in the whole corner of my room. I felt like angels watching over me throughout the whole camp. It was only because your prayer. And the Lord reminded me that He had not forgotten me while I was in North Korea. And He has not forgotten the people of North Korea either. That He has seen their tears, He heard their cry, and He will restore His people once again. But just like I came home because of people's concern and love and prayer, when we stand together for the people of North Korea, and remember them, pray for them, and God will restore them. God will break down the barriers. God will bring them home as I came home. You know, the next day I came home, I went out on the street. So many people recognized me on the street and say, "Hey Kenneth, welcome home. I prayed for you." I met so many people like that. I've been to 11 countries last year. Every country, every city I go, I found somebody come up to me and say, "I pray for you." What a privilege. I've been so grateful for all of you who pray for my release. This is the reason why I can stand still and testify what God has done for me. You know, I came home. I realized I came home, but I told my family that I'm so glad to be home. But I felt like a shepherd left the sheep behind. I'm sad for the people over there. But I cannot ask any of my friends that who will go in my place, replace me to be a shepherd in the prison. You know, I cannot ask any of my friends or family to go through what my family went through. I mean, so I'm kind of mentioning to the very, very best friend who prayed for him a long time. His wife was like mad at me. How dare you? Don't say that. Don't let my husband go. But a few months later, there's a pastor named Pastor last name is Lim. He's a Korean Canadian pastor who's been inside North Korea more than 100 times. He's a pastor of 3,000 member church in Canada. He loved God. He's a pastor of a big church, and he got detained. And then he received life sentence, and he's putting in the same prison, and maybe he's in the same room that I was in. So I met with his family and say, he's not there as a prisoner, he's there as God's son. God sent a pastor to the people over there that I ministered to. And then he's still there. 2 years and 5 months is passing away right now. And then after him, 2 more are detained. And just recently, 2 other Korean Americans, missionaries, just detained. Soon they will have 5 people in the prison. So 1 is 1 person, 2 is a company, 3 is church. When you get 5 people, there will be revival in the prison. We want them to come home. We need to remember them as you remember me. But God will use them mightily. I don't understand why they have to be detained like that. But in God's purpose will be done. So today I'm going to ask you to do very symbolic things as I close. That you come from, not everybody here are from Hong Kong, right? You're from some Hong Kong natives here, but many come from different countries. You're representing God's kingdom. When you're praising God together, I feel like we're in heaven worshiping God together. The anointing of God, presence of God is here in this room, just like was with me in North Korea. So what we can do is that every single one of us, a special instrument of God, you don't need to go to North Korea to pray, but you can say, I will stand with North Korean brothers and sisters. I'll remember them until the wall comes down. I think the day is coming very, very soon. And so I do believe that people around the world stand together for North Korean people. We're praying and shouting all together. Wall will come down. They'll be free once again. So would you stand with me? Would you stand? Everybody will stand. Let's just say that you are standing, like saying you're making a declaration to the Lord and say, I'm going to stand with the brother and sister in North Korea. Someday when I see them face to face, and I will tell them, I'm the one prayed for you. I stood by you and I was there for you. And you can say that. And then they will know that they've been cared for, loved for, and they've been prayed for. Amen. Only then God will be rejoiced. Only then, when they matter to God, we can say, they matter to us too. Only in the North Korea, it's like that in the rest of the world right now. Could you remember them today? Could you remember them in your prayer time? So we are studying something called Nehemiah prayer movement. And this is why I think the God brought me out of North Korea. I'm the only one came out so far. After me, no one came out right now. And then now I'm in South Korea, creating a movement of Nehemiah prayer movements. And just like Nehemiah went back to rebuild the wall of Jerusalem, many were gathered, rebuild it together, rebuild the life. We want to see rebuilding the spiritual wall of Jerusalem, of Far East, of Pyongyang, and the life will be restored. People will to know the Lord, and they will have Bible in their hand. So we are going to, so now Lord sent me to South Korea. Now I'm working with organizations and serving North Korean refugees, preparing the way. The Lord will open door in North Korea very soon. So please remember us, remember people in North Korea today, in your quiet time, in your prayer meeting. You can start your prayer corners in your workplaces and your churches to remember people in North Korea today. Could you pray for the missionary that was staying in North Korea today? Could you say that, Lord, use them mightily as God used me. Protect them, provide everything, so they will know that God is there with them. Would you pray that salvation, revival will take place in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ in North Korea? Would you pray for the peace in the Korean Peninsula? We don't want a war happening right now. We want peaceful unifications. We want peaceful, because the reason for reunification is the only way for Northern people to able to hear God's word. That's the only way to do so. So could you pray for that? Okay, just as a worship, I guess worship team can lead, and let's all cry out to the Lord together. And God, when you pray, God does a miracle. Lord, you do it, Lord. Let's all pray together. Shout out to the Lord as a brother and sister and Calvary Church. We're praying for revival to take place.